I missed mentioning in the previous video that we will be looking at examples of the 3 styles of resumes during seminar this week. So let's continue on with some formatting tips. Your resume should be no longer than 2 pages in length. If you can't fill 2 pages, don't just enlarge the font and leave large white spaces between sections. It's okay to have 1 page or to even go 1.5 pages or 1.25 pages. Font style, select a universal font style that is clean and crisp looking, easy to read, like Tahoma, Arial, Verdana, or Gadugi. Font sizes should be between 10.5 and 12 point, depending on the font style that you choose. Anything smaller than 10.5 makes it difficult to read. Your margins, leave them at normal. That's my recommendation. It will give a good amount of white space, and it really is about making your resume readable. You don't want to be eliminated because it's just too hard to read. I suggest you limit the use of underlining, italics, and bold. Use them strategically to highlight areas you want to draw attention to. Don't overuse it, as it can distract the reader. No header should be on the first page. Keep your contact information within the body of the document. Don't include photos or personal information like your age. You don't want to include these because it could lead an employer to discriminate against you. You want to get invited for an interview. Transferable skills. Maybe you're not sure what information to include on your resume. It could be for the following reasons. You have unrelated work experience or no relevant work experience. You've only held volunteer positions, or you haven't worked and you only have interest or hobbies. You can draw transferable skills from all 3 of these areas. It's all about marketing, selling skills that aren't an obvious fit. Let's have a look at how to do this to expand relevant information based on employers' need and our experience. So you've gone to Fleming College. Now I just have an example of a program here. It may not be the one you're currently enrolled in, but Fleming College enrolled in Resource Drilling and Blasting program. It doesn't really give us a lot of information. The next one gives us a little bit more information. Resource Drilling and Blasting Technician Diploma. It's a diploma program, and someone is currently in it. Now you may decide that you would like to put when your expected graduation date is. Fleming College, you could include Lindsay, Ontario. Took courses such as drilling and soil studies. It gave us a little bit more information. But let's have a look at the bottom one. Resources Drilling and Blasting Technician Program, 2019, Fleming College. Trained in a variety of drilling techniques including geotechnical, diamond core, and construction drilling. Able to perform maintenance on a wide variety of equipment including hydraulic, electrical, and drive systems. You can see the bottom example is much stronger. So have a look when you're building your education section and look at the job posting. What are they looking for? Have you done those things in your education, in your program? Then make sure you expand that section. What is an applicant tracking system? Sometimes also called or referred to as an ATS. So it's a software application that enables the electronic handling of recruitment needs. An ATS system manages candidates in a database, and it saves employers time and money by having this program do the initial screening. Regardless if an ATS is used or not, the first thing that's looked at is, can I easily eliminate this cover letter and resume? So many medium to large size companies, even some small companies, are using an applicant tracking system to do that initial screening. So how do you get past the applicant tracking system? We are going to talk a little bit more about this in seminar and go over a resource that will list some of the things that you'll want to make sure that you've included or not included to make sure you get through that applicant tracking system. Remember, keywords are key to get past these systems. So looking at the job posting, it's going to be important to take some keywords or key phrases right out of that job posting. We are going to practice that in lab today or later this week. So we can make sure that the computer doesn't eliminate your application and that it actually does get into the hands of an employer or a hiring manager. So some helpful hints. Take ownership. Put the time in so you can make it past that elimination pile. Use simple style fonts, size 11 or 12, and it will ensure readability. Have a consistent layout and use of effects. So that can be if your job titles are all going to be bolded, make sure that they are all bolded. If you're going to use periods at the end of your bullet points, make sure you've used them consistently at the end of your bullet points. Use round bullets. That we know for sure gets past an applicant tracking system. Avoid long sentences. So 2 or 3 lines. It gives you a greater chance of making some kind of grammatical error. Personal information should include your address, and that can just be your city and province, your phone number, and an email. Make sure that your email is professional. Use past tense action verbs to start your bullet points for your accomplishment statements or your transferable skill statements. Make sure you have someone proofread your document to ensure that it is error-free. The number one reason a cover letter and resume hit the elimination pile is because they have errors throughout. Really hard for an employer to believe you when you say that you're detail-oriented and then you have 3 spelling errors or a couple spelling errors and a grammatical error, and you don't have consistency throughout your document. References. So a reference is someone who agrees to speak to a potential employer about you in a positive way. You should have a reference page ready for an interview. Do check with your references first. Give them an update about what you've been doing, what you've been taking at school. Let them know that you are looking for a job, and it's a great opportunity to even ask them if they've heard of anything that they think you would be a good fit for. Provide them with a copy of your resume or offer to. Do not use someone who is related to you or who shares the same address or phone number. Have 2 or 3 references ready. Sometimes employers are very specific about how many references they want. It could be people that you've worked with previously or from educational or volunteer experiences. Don't include your references on your resume. It really should be a separate document. And however you put your name and contact information on your resume, you can copy and paste that into a new document, put references. Also, always make sure that you put how you know that person. So were they your supervisor at Home Depot, for instance? It helps the person calling so that they know. One other thing that I want to mention before we finish off today is that if you are applying for ministry jobs, you'll want to go through the document. It is listed in D2L on Ontario Public Service, and they walk you through. It's also found, of course, on their job site. They walk you through their expectations of cover letters and resumes, and you definitely want to follow, because again, you want to get your foot in the door and get an interview so that you can sell your skills in person.